Hi dear viewers and welcome to Bad Car Symptoms. Your car has many relays, and what is a relay? It is a remote controlled electrical switch for higher current and voltage. In cars, it is mainly used to protect smaller electrical switches from damage and burnout caused by higher current and voltage. A perfect example of the relay system is one for the starter. In this case, the ignition switch turns on the relay, which then turns on the starter via the connection to the starter solenoid. So, without a relay, the ignition switch on your car would soon malfunction due to overheating and there would be no cranking. This is how it all works, and when the relay is faulty, the symptoms we're going to show you will probably appear. So, stay tuned. Bad car symptoms. Before we start, we must mention that some of the symptoms of a bad starter relay are very similar to either starter problems or ignition switch problems. We have videos for all of these problems. If you have the time, take a look. They may additionally help in finding the solution. The links are in the cards in the corner and in the video description. The starter starts occasionally. Usually, the first symptom of a bad starter relay is that the car will occasionally not crank. At first, this symptom will rarely occur, let's say a couple of times a year, but later, as the problem gets worse, it will be more frequent. There is a clicking sound when cranking. Besides occasional cranking, you will hear a clicking sound when you try to crank. You may also notice a slight delay just before the cranking starts. This is because the damaged relay cannot transfer enough power to the starter solenoid. On this part, please note that this symptom is very similar to a starter problem, like a bad solenoid, worn out brushes, or else. We recommend that when this symptom appears, make a thorough inspection of the connection to the starter, but also inspect the rest of the system. The car does not crank at all. When the starter relay totally fails, there will be no cranking at all. So, when you turn the ignition key, the dashboard warning lights appear, and after that there is no cranking. In this case, the relay totally severs the connection between the ignition key and the starter. The starter stays engaged. Finally, the most dramatic symptom is when the starter stays on all the time. So, even when you release the ignition key, the starter continues cranking. The main danger in this is if the engine starts, while this happens, the starter will remain engaged with the flywheel and can break and damage both the starter and the flywheel, also the transmission. Worth mentioning is that if this happens, God forbid, it can be stopped by an emergency removal of the minus battery clamp. Another option is to pull the faulty starter relay out of the socket. Both demand a momentary reaction and you have to be careful. Dear viewers, as we say in all of these videos, the moment you notice this problem, start solving it. When you notice the occasional clicking, in this case, make an inspection. On most cars, the relays are easy to access, so they are easy to check. Best check the whole starter system, not only the relay, just in case. If the relay is faulty, on most cars it's simple to replace, it's a plug-in, plug-out job, and also it is a cheap part for most cars. Try to avoid this problem getting to the point of the starter staying engaged all the time, as this will cause havoc with both the starter and the engine. So that's it for this time. We hope the video helps. Please like and subscribe, it's a huge help for what we're doing. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time.